Hello, so today we are gonna push a bunch of web application to Kubernetes with a single command. Kubernetes can be kind of hard to get started with, and so the Cloud Foundry Foundation decided to bring the same seamless developer experience, but instead of pushing your application to virtual machine, the goal is to push them to Kubernetes. And so they came up with a new project that's called Korifi, and it brings the same CF push, very easy experience to the world of Kubernetes. So in this tutorial, we are going to cover a bunch of things. First, we will push a Ruby application to Kubernetes by using Korifi. Then we'll go over what are cloud native Buildpacks, what are Paketo Buildpacks. Then we'll push Node.js application to Kubernetes, an ASP.NET application to Kubernetes, and finally a PHP app to Kubernetes. While all of this seems a bit repetitive, for every steps there are some specificities. So we will go over those. Okay, so let's get started by the Ruby application. Let's push a Ruby application to Kubernetes using Korifi. So for all of this application, what I did is that I came up with a sample, a bunch of sample web apps. You can check them out on my GitHub repo. It's called Sample Web Apps, and it contains all the web apps, all the stack that we will cover today and more. I will gradually add them. I think it's great for this specific tutorial, and for testing might be of use for other usage. So I will clone this repository here. It's already in there, my bad. We'll get in there, and I said we will start with the Ruby one. So it's a simple Ruby application, using Sinatra, and we are using Unicorn as a web server. And so all you need to do. Before that, of course, you need to install Korifi. I will share in the video a link to another video I made where I explain how to install Korifi on Ubuntu, which is the machine we are using today. It's pretty much, you just need to run 2 scripts and you are good to go. It's very easy to do. But yeah, once you have Korifi installed up and running, you just get in the directory of your application, and you CF push. I will name this application my Ruby app, and that's it. That's all you need to do to push a Ruby application to Kubernetes. Okay, we are done. So Korifi pushed our Ruby application to Kubernetes. And you can see here, Korifi shared a bunch of information regarding our application. So what's interesting here is the route. We can access our application. And so what we'll do is we'll just use curl to check that it's running properly. If it is, it should return hello world and the version of Ruby. Because everything is behind certificate, everything is exposed through HTTPS, but it's a self-done certificate, self-issue certificate. I need to add the insecure flag, or curl will complain. And as you can see, it's running properly. So just CF push the name of your application, and that's all you need. If ever you want to go back, let's say, okay, you do other thing and you want to go back and see the status of your Korifi application, you can just use the cf app command and the name of your application, and it will show you the health and status of your application. Okay, so now we will push a Node.js application to Kubernetes, but before that, I wanted to explain a little bit about what's going on in the background, like how can Korifi basically go from your source code to running your application in Kubernetes. One very key component of that is the cloud native Buildpacks. And so the Buildpacks were first conceived by Heroku in 2011. And since then, they've been adopted by other paths such as Google App Engine, GitLab, Deis, Doku, and also Cloud Foundry. And actually, the project joined the CNCF in 2018. And so what Buildpacks are doing is that they are converting source code into OCI images, such as the Docker image. And this happens in 2 steps. The first step is that it will detect, like basically look at your app to determine all the dependencies and components that it needs, and basically configure what configuration it needs to run in any cloud, or in OCI images, and eventually on Kubernetes. And so once the detect phase is done, and that there is a plan, then comes the building phase. And so in the build phase, we have what we call builders, which are an ordered combination of Buildpacks with a base build image, a lifecycle, and a reference to run image. And so that's pretty much how Buildpacks works. It looks at, what are the requirements, and then how can I make this a running image, and then it just do it for you. And so the second thing I wanted to cover is Paketo Buildpacks. So you can build Buildpacks yourself. Everything is open source, so you can build all of this yourself, or you can use Buildpacks that are already provided by, there is a bunch of providers who offer them, such as Google, Heroku, or Paketo Buildpacks. And the Paketo Buildpacks is an open source project. It's owned by Cloud Foundry, and they provide production-ready Buildpacks for most popular languages and framework. And what I like about Paketo Buildpacks is because it's open source, you can always participate or watch what's going on. They have a mailing list, they have working groups, they have a bunch of discussion going on GitHub, there are RFCs, so you can always get involved, always be on the lookout for updates for the Buildpacks that you care about. And so in this tutorial, I will only use Paketo Buildpacks. And these Buildpacks are always, generally, like the community is super quick at keeping them up to date, and they are also backed with all the best practices on how to run specific stacks. So I encourage you to use those. Of course, you can use other ones or build your own, but the Buildpacks from the Paketo Buildpacks community are really a solid choice. So with that being said, let's go and push a Node.js application. Actually, I wanted to show you kind of the manual process on how a Korifi goes about first created an OCI image of your code using Buildpacks. So I installed the command line. Let's before I build the image, let me show you what's in here. So it's just a very simple Node.js application. And so what you can do, excuse me, using the pack command is that you can build this image. I'm gonna call it my Node.js Buildpacks image. And here, what it's asking me is to select the base build image. So as I explained, Buildpacks will use a base build image which contain all the basics that you need, and then we'll add on top of this specific Buildpacks to suit to the specific stack that you are pushing. So in this case, I'm just gonna go and use the base one, this one, the Paketo Buildpack base. Oops. Here we go. So same idea. The first run on packing an application will take quite a while because it needs to download all these layers, base image and other layers. I already ran it, so prior to recording this tutorial, so it was faster, but maybe slower for you. And so now this image is available on my local Docker repository. You can see it here. So then Korifi goes, takes this image and push it to Kubernetes. So now let's try again. Let's push it automatically with Korifi using the command line. So my Node.js app. Okay, we are done. So as you can see, my application should be running. We'll just check it real quick. Yep, it's working fine. All right, so now we are gonna push an ASP.NET application. So as you can see, it's really simple application, nothing complicated. So let's go and push it using Korifi. Okay, so we got an error message, the build failed. And so the reason the build failed can be found with the logs. So if you type cf logs with recent, I think I forgot to put the name of my app. Here we go. You can see here that it could not find the right Buildpacks. So as I mentioned, for every type of stacks that you want to push, you need a specific Buildpack. And so in this case, it doesn't have a Buildpack for ASP.NET application. So by typing the command cf Buildpacks, you can see what Buildpacks Korifi currently knows about. Here you can see Korifi knows 5 of them, but there is nothing about ASP.NET. So we need to add this. So it can be fairly easily done. You just need to edit first of all the cluster store using a kubectl command. Here I'm using specific the specific terms that I used in the video, the installation video that I made previously. So if you want to learn more about this, you can check out this video. But basically, here in the sources, we tell Korifi what Buildpacks it can use. And so here, we need to use one so that it can run ASP.NET application. And so the name of the Buildpack is .NET.Core. And you can find on Paketo Buildpacks website what the Buildpack name for every type of stack. So now it knows, and I made a typo, .NET Core. All right. Now it knows, what did I do? Here we go. So now it knows about the Buildpack, the Buildpack that it can use to run this ASP.NET application. Now you need to run another kubectl command to edit the cluster builder, and basically there is an order in which Buildpacks are used, which is right here. So here you just need to mimic the format here, and same as .NET.Core, we'll put it in first position. And that's it. And now if you type cf Buildpacks, you can see that Korifi knows about the .NET Core 1. And so if you run the cf push command, and I'm lazy, so I'm just gonna use history. Here we go. Now it should work properly. And now I still missed something. So let's see. What did I do wrong? Nothing showing up. Let's see, did I typoed? Looks good here and looks good here. So what's happening? CF, let's see if I already have an ASP.NET application running. I will just delete it just in case. And I will push it again. So our application has been deployed. We'll just make sure that it's running well. And it is. And you can see that now I have 3 applications running running on Kubernetes. So now we are gonna push another one, a PHP application. And so the first thing you want to do is to check if you have the Buildpack for PHP, which I don't. So I'm gonna add this to my cluster store. So let's see here, just gonna copy that. Here we go. And then I need to add this to my cluster builder. And copy this here. And once you've done this, obviously, you don't have to do it again. So it's really when you are setting up your Korifi cluster the first time that you have to do that. And then you should see, yeah, PHP is available. All right, so let's try to push our application. Okay, so as you can see, Korifi could not launch my PHP application and invites me to check the logs, which is what you are going to do. And so the error is because system library, the libxml library, seems to be missing. And so this issue comes from the fact that, as we discussed earlier, when Korifi uses Buildpacks, the builder is made of a build image and then additional Buildpacks to satisfy all the dependencies of the specific application that it's launching. And generally, system library are in the build image. And so if we look at what application the builder is using, and I can show you here. No, I think there is no dash. Here we go. So here, if you remember well, I said that I was using the base builder. And so here you can see that PHP is not included. Actually, it is included in the full one. And so that's why my application, my PHP application could not start because the system libraries that are necessary to launch the PHP application are missing. So what we need to do is to tell Korifi to use not the base version, but the full one. And so to do that, you have many ways of doing this. I took kind of the lazy way, which is to go back to the way I installed Korifi initially, which with this bash script, and basically just change the template that it uses. So you can find this under the value template YAML file, and you can see at the end of it that it's using the Jamie base, and we want the Jamie full. That's all you need to do. And then you just need to rerun the script. Here we go. Okay, and one way to check which builder Korifi is currently using, you need to look at the cluster builder and you look for the run image. And as you can see now, it's here it's using the Jamie full. So now I'm going to try to push the application again. And it's done. Let's check. That's it. That's all it took to launch 4 different stacks, push this application to Kubernetes very simply by using Korifi. And now that the cluster is configured, it's easier to launch more of the stacks. I hope this tutorial was helpful to you. If so, you can give it a like and maybe subscribe to my channel. If you have any question, feel free to ask them in the comment section or leave any feedback. See you later. Bye.